So you're probably wondering, what the heck is going on in this clip? Well, this is one of the new ways that people are grinding their Bestiary in Hypixel Skyblock. Bestiary has been around for a very long time at this point, but it recently got a revamp that allows for people to get XP way faster because they added a ton of new mobs to Bestiary, and they just made it actually possible to max out. I mean, seriously, you used to need like 3 million kills on worms, and nobody was ever going to do that unless they were grinding for like 80 years straight. Now it is possible to complete, and you get like 30 levels from Bestiary, so people are trying to do it as efficiently as possible. And with that efficiency comes some very weird methods that some people may not even think about doing. So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you all of those end game methods for some of these more niche mobs, because there are some very useful methods that should allow you to take some Bestiaries that are usually kind of slow and make them very, very fast. So if this video helps you out, I would really appreciate a like or a subscription, and I would also appreciate if you went to the Hypixel store and used code BANANA for 5% off. I get a bit of a cutback, you get a bit of a discount. It's a win-win, and it is the best way to support the channel. But without further ado, let's get into some of the best ways to level your Bestiary. For a lot of mobs across the game, the meta is pretty simple. It is get a Hyperion style sword from floor 7, it really doesn't matter which one you have, and just click on the mobs and just teleport around. Use a high mana set and destroy with that. The problem is that Hyperion is very, very expensive for the average player. Some people cannot afford Hyperion or don't even have the requirements to use it, and that means that you're going to have a tough time competing with a lot of Bestiaries. This especially goes for a lot of the mobs on the Crimson Isle, because those guys have some big boy health. But there is an item that can allow you to compete on some of the more early on items and should actually make you able to kill them faster than the Hyperion can. The item that I'm referring to right now is the Precursor Eye, and this comes from floor 6 of the Catacombs. While it is technically rarer than a Necron's Handle to drop a Precursor Eye, it is way cheaper on the auction house right now at a 41 million coin cost. This item is going to allow you to shoot a laser in front of you that deals damage and costs a tiny bit of mana. The rest of the ability doesn't really matter, where it's scaling your damage every second for 5 seconds and whatever. That doesn't matter at all, but just having this beam is going to be very, very good for a lot of Bestiaries around the game. This ability is activated by pressing shift, and I'm not a huge fan of spamming that over and over. So what I do if I'm trying to actually just use Precursor Eye is change my attack button to shift, and then I scroll down and change my shift to button 1. So I just click my mouse and I can start spamming this eye very quickly, and this is going to kill a lot of enemies while using basically no mana. I really like this in the deep caverns, because going into something like the Slime Hill, you are able to just kill all of these guys. You're not using arrows, you have no travel time on this, so you're able to just get the kill by literally looking at things. This doesn't do too much damage in comparison to a lot of the stuff, and that's why this isn't viable on the Crimson Isle. You're not going to be able to kill those mobs, but deep caverns mobs, hub mobs, spider's den mobs, all of those are going to be very viable with the Precursor Eye, and that means that you're going to be able to steal kills from people basically from a mile away, because you're literally just looking at them and spamming shift. You're gonna look really weird to people. They're gonna ask you what weapon you're using, but this is not a weapon, it's a helmet, and it's going to be very good for Bestiary. This guy's using a frozen scythe for the Ice Walkers here, and you're gonna see that I'm just able to get every kill before he can even think about getting a kill, because once again, you're looking at enemies and they're shooting things at enemies, and this is going to kill it way faster than a projectile is going to be able to hit them. So it's also very good in the Dwarven Mines. The last area that it's definitely super duper good in is the end. It is going to be a little bit more competitive here because people are trying to get their summoning eyes, but you're able to kill the Watchers and everything that's around the Obsidian Defenders, the Endermites. You're able to kill them all just by looking at them. It is the same exact process as any other island, but you are just doing it on a more competitive and a slightly more endgame island. This is a very good helmet. I would definitely recommend that people get it, and hey, we got a summoning eye. This next tip is about one specific bestiary family, and that is going to be on your island. If we go into bestiary, there is a bunch of just private island specific ones. Zombie, witch, spider. Witch is really, really annoying. I don't really have many tips on how to make that better, but Creeper got added in the bestiary update, and in the patch notes, they said minions are no longer going to count towards bestiary kills. They said that, but I'm going to walk over to this minion here, going to kill this. I gotta whack it, apparently. Bestiary family unlocked. Creeper. So, yeah, you are able to level Creeper Bestiary with the minion on your island. This is going to be super beneficial. You don't have to have creepers just spawning around everywhere, and you can get an easy 5 Bestiary tiers by doing this. This isn't going to be revolutionary. You're not going to hit Skyblock level 400 off of this, but hey, 5 Bestiary tiers is 5 Bestiary tiers. That's basically free, and yeah, just use a minion for this one. This could get patched. Another tip for a very specific family is going to be the Golden Goblin. There are basically 2 ways of going about this. If you go into your Heart of the Mountain tree, Sky Mall is going to be very, very helpful if you're trying to grind Golden Goblins, because 10 times chance to find Golden Goblins is an option for the perk that you can get. This is random on if you get the perk, but whenever you get this, you should be able to get a ton of Golden Goblins by just mining Mithril. But another method that you can do, and this might cost you a bit of coins, is just throwing goblin eggs and hoping that you're going to spawn a golden goblin. You spawn one, you kill it, and you only need to do that like 400 times, so you just got to get like a bajillion stacks of eggs if you want to do this, and you could just max that family pretty quick. It actually is more than just 5 tiers on this one, I believe, so it is sort of nice. You can get 15 bestiary tiers from golden goblin, but definitely take advantage of the 10x perk, and if you're flushed with coins and can afford to just buy the eggs, you can do that off the bazaar, and you could definitely get this done very quickly and get your 15 Skyblock XP from it. Now let's talk about a super important system for bestiary, and that is going to be loot share. If you can loot share on a mob, then you can get bestiary on it. And technically you can loot share every single mob in the game, but most mobs you aren't really looking to loot share, because that means you're playing with someone else and they are getting some kills that you aren't, and it's a little annoying. But there are 2 areas where it is absurdly helpful to be playing with friends. I know, having friends, very tough for the Skyblock community. The 2 areas that I'm talking about are going to be Diana and fishing. Diana is what I'm going to talk about first here, because this is pretty simple. Find a party who is doing Diana and just make sure that they call out whenever they get an Inquisitor. There are mods that do this, such as Sky Hanny or Soupy, and this is just going to ping Inquisitors, and your entire lobby can just run over your 6 people, because only 5 people can loot share off of each enemy, but all 5 people that aren't you can run over to your Inquisitor, get a little bit of damage, and get kill credit towards this mob. This is super helpful for killing it in the first place, and it is just going to make your rates a lot faster, because more people are going to be spawning Inquisitors, which means that you, while you might not be getting more spawns yourself and getting the drops because loot share drops are rare, you are going to be getting the kill credit, which increases your magic find because you're getting your bestiary up, and it should hopefully help you get your bestiary maxed out faster. Fishing, on the other hand, is why I was doing what I was doing in the first clip. Looking in my wardrobe, I have a set of Frozen Blaze armor that is a bit peculiar. It has submerged on it. That is the reforged stone that is for fishing, and that is because I use Frozen Blaze while fishing, because Frozen Blaze allows you to loot share very, very easily while you're fishing. The other methods in the game for fishing bestiary used to be that you would fish up the mobs from an area like this where they drop down beneath you. Everyone swaps to something like Reaper armor so that they deal basically 0 damage, and you shoot an explosive bow shot at all the enemies. The problem with that is that there's a lot of swapping involved with doing that. You're basically swapping armor sets, you're swapping weapons, you're doing a whole bunch of work in order to share the kills, and sometimes you aren't going to get kill credit because maybe you didn't hit a mob, maybe someone hit a mob while they were fishing it up and just immediately killed it. It's not going to be super efficient, and it's going to take a bunch of time. Frozen Blaze, however, does not require any of that swapping. When you're wearing Frozen Blaze, you want to be going for the maximum sea creature chance from every source that you can get, because the armor itself is not going to have any sea creature chance. So you need to make sure that your beacon is set up for it, where it has the 6 sea creature chance or the 5 sea creature chance, whatever beacon you have, whatever fuel you're you're using. You want to get the sea creature chance from there. You want to enrich your talismans to sea creature chance, and you want to make sure that you're using a pet like Ammonite or like the flying fish with a washed up souvenir. And with all of this, I was able to get 90 sea creature chance in Frozen Blaze, which you may think is pretty bad, but you got to remember that you are fishing next to 5 other people that are using this exact same setup. So while you may be catching an item 1 out of every 10 catches, it doesn't really matter because the aura of Frozen Blaze is going to get the kills around you, and it's going to make it so even though you're not catching as many things, because you have all of these people and because you're not swapping stuff, you're able to get very, very fast rates. This method is super duper good in an island like the Crystal Hollows because you can set up your own basically barn fishing style area where you are pulling mobs and dropping them into a hole behind you where the high health mobs are not going to be damaging you, but you are going to be damaging them because you're just standing on the edge there. I'm going to bring back up the clip of what I was doing, and what I was doing in that clip is spooky fishing because spooky fishing doing this method is absurdly quick. If we go into my bestiary now, you're gonna see that I went from almost no spooky mobs fished up and completed in the bestiary to max nightmare, 60 grim reapers, 169 phantom fishers, and halfway done with the bestiaries on scarecrow and werewolf. This was one event that I did, and I was able to get basically all of this progress from that event because I had barely spooky fished before this. So this is very, very good. This works for every single normal type water mob, and if you're doing this in the jungle, you're able to get zombie miners. If you're doing this in the goblin area, you're able to get water worms and poisoned water worms. So this is going to be a method that is just absurdly good for getting these fishing bestiaries done, because anything you can do in the Crystal Hollows, you can build this nice little area and just have your boys fishing with you, and they all land behind you. It's going to be super easy, and it is going to make your rates so fast. So yeah, no blaze pet required. Frozen Blaze is finally fully meta for something, and somehow that is getting Skyblock XP with fishing. You can also do this on the Jerry Island. It's pretty nice whenever you're in the hot springs doing it. You can do it on the Oasis. Anywhere where you're fishing, it is going to be pretty darn useful. Make sure you're moving around and moving your mouse between every catch, because there is like an anti-AFK on getting fishing bestiary, but this is going to make your rates just so much faster than if you were fishing the normal barn style or just fishing by yourself. So if you have friends who are willing to waste their coins on getting submerged Frozen Blaze, definitely try it out, because you're going to get a lot of kills and actually make a ton of money while fishing. During my 3 hours of spooky fishing, I was able to make like 100 million coins with all the people standing around me, purely because we are getting so many kills. I think I got 3,200 score in the spooky event purely off of fishing, and I find that really funny, but it is a great method, and I'm glad that Frozen Blaze has a use case. Other than those specific tips, I can just basically say remember to double dip whenever you're doing a bestiary, such as if you're trying to get endstone protectors, make sure you're just killing the zealots beforehand. Or if you're killing flares for bestiary, make sure you get a hit on the magma boss, because if someone comes and kills it, you're going to get the kill credit for the bestiary. If you're able to do multiple things at a time, it is going to progress you faster than doing one thing at a time. That's why, while ghosts may be one of the highest rate mobs in the game to just do, running around in the spider's den with a precursor eye or a Hyperion is going to be infinitely better for your Skyblock XP, because you're going to be leveling like 80 different families at the same time rather than just the one specific one. Hopefully this video helped you out with your bestiary grinding. Let me know down below what you guys think about some of these methods. Are you looking forward to using Frozen Blaze for fishing? But that's going to be it for the video. Hope it helps, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace out.